Bullying today has become a major problem in school systems. Does anybody have anything to say about it?
Yeah, I don't think the school systems handle bullying well because in most situations they just make the whoever's being bullied like tell on the person that's bullying them. But in like when that translates to the real world, it's not gonna work like that. You can't just tell on somebody. You
Yeah,
have to be able to stand up for yourself, and I think
yeah,
that's the problem in today's like school systems.
yeah. Students should develop their self dependence instead of relying on other people.
Yeah, I agree with that. And most of the time, like in the real world, the students will just or not even the students, the people in the real world, they'll have to defend themselves, and like people are trying to take your job constantly. You have to stay ahead of the game because if not, people are just going to step all over you in the real
Yeah, you
world.
really can't be cradled too much in childhood, or else in the real world you'll be helpless.
Well, I mean, yeah, you have to be dependent and strong-willed, but the schools can't just let it keep going on. They have to do something about it.
Well, yeah, but this whole anti-bullying
Yeah,
movement,
it's not.
I think it's doing more damage than like
In the long
good.
run, it's really doing more damage.
Yeah, it seems like we're making like the children of the future like more cowardly. Like the second anything bad happens to you, someone does anything bad to you, go tell on them,
Yeah,
and
So, if you were the principal, what would you do?
I mean, to a certain extent, like
Yeah.
unless you're getting beat up or unless you're getting like, like physically harmed or something like that, then it's like handle it yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, like you can have conversations, you could discourage it, but like as far as like, cause nowadays they're putting kids on the news for bullying and stuff, and honestly, that does more damage like than like necessary, because it's like now, because like you're a kid, kids make mistakes and stuff like that, but then to put kids on the news for like bullying, it's like ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, because kids even now, like we all mess with each other. We like that's not considered bullying. We're just messing with each other. If it's taken to an extent where like they're harming them and you can't defend yourself in that situation, yeah, you can go and tell. But if he's just like offending you with his words or whatever, defend yourself.
Yes.
Like stand up for yourself. Say you're not this or that, or do something to prove to them that you're capable of like defending
Yeah,
yourself.
you gotta be mentally strong about it. You can't just give up.
Like you can't let someone else's words get to you because that in the real world that doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
And if they're like really putting physical harm in you, and like you go tell the teacher or whatever, and then they stop. But what happens if you're outside of school and that happens to you? You have to be able to defend yourself in that situation.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean, I agree. I mean, you have to be able to handle the problem on your own. That's a thing in itself. But I'm saying, when it goes on in the school has to take a stance, some type of stance on it.
Well, I don't like the way the school takes a stance because it makes the children of today cowards.
So I'll repeat the question: what do you think the school should do?
I mean, I don't know because
So you see,
I think that they should keep it the way it was when we were in school, and
well, it was
like
always the same.
they're
They're
well,
just
they're
making
putting,
it more like
they're putting
more out there.
But think about it. It's like everybody's against bullying. Like people are or adults are against bullying, but yet they're gonna put a kid on the news. It's like
Oh,
they're
that's not
bullying.
the school.
That is the school.
yeah, the school system reports that to
They
the
report
news.
that to the news, and it's like now you have adults ganging up and then like harassing kids. Like I watched this thing on like Nancy Grace or something, and then there's like a panel of adults talking about how a kid should be in trouble and all this other crap. It's like those are like the real bullies to me, because that's ridiculous. It's like all of us made mistakes when we were younger, but making it all public and stuff is I don't think it helps.
No, yeah, I don't agree with the public. That's definitely not the way to go about it. But allowing the kids to, if they're getting bullied in school, let them know that somebody's there for, like the counselor. And I think that's how it always was. But right now they're just putting it out there more.
Yeah, I don't like the way it
Yeah.
is now. Like they're putting way too much
They're
emphasis
like-
on like going and telling somebody
It's like
rather than them defending themselves.
It's
That's
like
the only part I
they're
don't like.
implying
Yeah,
that it's
that's-
their only option. They're like, you can only do this. Just tell someone, but they can actually do something about it.
And on top of that, say if you do get into an altercation when you're defending yourself with a bully, you get in the same trouble they're getting in. Like say if you two get into a fight or a physical altercation, you will still get in the same amount of trouble he's in, even though you're defending yourself. Cause like they might say like don't hit somebody unless they hit you first or something like that. But people like there's choice words people could use to really like get you angry, get you going. Like people could say anything they want just to get a reaction out
So
of you.
now going off that point, you're saying they should go tell.
No, I'm
Because
saying
if they end up if they fight back, then they're gonna get in trouble as well.
Yeah, but that's what I don't like about the school system, that they just get them in like both. It's equal trouble, even though someone's trying to defend themselves and the other person's just attacking them.
Yeah. So pretty much, point blank, the school system is just messed up. That's what I would say. But I agree with Sean. Like, they should put a lot more emphasis on defending yourself and like lessen the consequences for defending yourself, because it's like, well, all these kids committing suicide and doing like stupid things to themselves, it's because nobody taught them how to defend themselves. It's not because somebody's bullying them. If people see you like weak in you, then they're gonna pick on you, and that's all through life. It doesn't matter what rules there are. So like, whether or not it doesn't even have to be bullying. Something can go wrong in their life, and you have to have like a strong mind. So
All right, well, that's it for today, guys. You can leave a comment down below. Let us know how you feel about bullying.
yep. And send us your music if you're a musician. That way we could play it in our videos. All right.
Nick, move. That's my seat.
Oh, it's my seat now.
You want to do this? Something just broke.